everyone, how are we today? Just doing a quick all signs reading today. This is going to be a love reading, and we are going to be looking at, what is moving forward in love for you. All right. So we're going to start off. It's a kind of a two-parter question today. We're going to start off asking, what do you need to know in order to move forward in love, and then what does that kind of look like? Where are you moving forward in love? So where to are you moving forward to here? So make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Timestamps in the description box as always, as well as all my other info as well. Today we're using the Twin Flame Ascension Oracle. We're not specifying twin flame connections. That is a very argued topic, I suppose, is one way to put it. I won't go into my personal beliefs when it comes to twin flame stuff, but your interpretation of that. I'm kind of generalizing it back down a little bit to just soulmate connections. Your person connection with your person, or whatever, just love in general for you here today. Okay, I do also have the pop art lenormand today as well. Okay, I'm going to be doing it a little bit differently today, starting with Libra and moving my way on through. Anyone that does watch the channel regularly, I do this occasionally, sort of depending on how my own placements are kind of acting up in my energy for the day. So because I do have a very strong Aries placement, and I do have a lot of Aries in my life as well. So sometimes I do need to just sort of come to that energy rather than start with that energy. Okay, so I will be starting at Libra and moving my way on through. But like I said, all the timestamps will be in the description box below the video. Okay, make sure you leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific topics you would like to see on the channel. I'd be happy to take those on board. And like I said, starting off with Libra today. So a bit of a longer intro, but Libra. Okay, Libra. What does Libra need to know in order to move forwards in love? What does Libra need to know in regards to moving forward in love? Moving forwards for Libra. Ooh, these kind of go hand in hand as well. All right, so we do have the transformation card coming through first here, Libra. So the battle of head versus heart. So needing to sort of transform the way that you are approaching love, and take a much more heart-centered approach to love, that your head space is kind of holding you back a little bit here when it comes to love and generating more love. You're trying to put too much logic and rational thinking onto love, which is kind of a non-rational thing. All right, it's a concept rather than a something that can be measured scientifically, so to speak. So needing to sort of get out of our head and stop the overthinking a little bit when it comes to love here, Libra. We do see rebirth coming off the back of that as well. Personal freedom unleashed. All right, so you will sort of find that the more that you're able to step into your heart space rather than the overthinking and whatnot, you will start to move forward in love, and you will sort of kind of feel like it's like a whole new energy being released within yourself, where you're able to give and receive love in a different kind of a way, a transformed kind of a way than what it kind of has been for you. The reason I'm doing this reading today is because, moving into the year of the horse from the year of the snake, we have been seeing a lot of kind of stuck energy, a lot of endings and new beginnings starting to take place kind of across the board. And that's definitely occurring here for you. We do see that transformation still kind of underway, where you are needing to sort of continue to transform your concept of love. And then you will sort of be stepping into this like a whole new version of yourself, a whole new freedom of expression of love within yourself here, Libra. Okay, and where is that taking our Libra? Where is love moving forward to for Libra? Where does love move forward to for Libra? So like I said, coming up to the year of the horse, we are focusing on forward movement. It's been the kind of topic of the week in my energy this week, and with clients and whatnot as well. We do see the child coming through for you first, so there's that freedom being unlocked, unleashed. Okay, so we do see you're moving towards a lot more playful, fun, kind of fun-spirited, innocent look at feelings of love. The way that came through there with the wording, sorry. But you are moving forward into a much more playful energy when it comes to love, where you're much more, open to the wonder that love can bring and shine into your life here. So it's much more of an adventure rather than a restraint energy here. We do see quite, I love this for you, Libra. We do see the heart coming through with the rider. Okay, so good news is on the way from the heart space. So there is a lot of love coming into your energy just in general. I do feel, and it's like a very playful, fun, adventurous energy coming forward here. So for those of you who are single, I do pick up, quite often this is kind of like a knight in a shining armor, especially with the heart there as well. But they're kind of coming in for you, and that's pretty quick energy. All right, definitely quick energy with the rider there as well. So we do see that it's coming in quicker than you kind of realize, Libra. And for those of you, it's kind of that are, already with somebody or connected to somebody, this childlike energy is coming forward in a way of like a new beginning in the connection, like a refresh, hitting the reset button and starting all over from, young, playful child energy rather than, we're, old and grey and whatnot. The way it's coming through for you here, Libra, it's kind of giving me these random wordings for you today. So sorry if that was a bit jumbled in the way that I'm speaking. Sometimes I just channel what's coming through and then it comes out all higgledy-piggledy. But it's that battle of the head versus the heart. The child doesn't think things through. It just does. So that's kind of where we're moving forward here when it comes to love, and we will see things starting to move forward very quickly for you as soon as we're in that heart space here, Libra. Okay, you're more than welcome to check your other placements, cross-watch somebody else's placement, and we will move on over to our Scorpios. Okay, Scorpio. What does Scorpio need to know in order to move forwards in love? Well, obviously that one. What does Scorpio need to know in order to move forwards in love, please? I think this is actually the first time I'm using this deck on the channel, Scorpio. Some of my close friends adore this deck for love readings. It has been very popular. We do see the Voyager's Journey coming through for you first here. Past life healing. All right, so you are needing to know a little bit more about your past lives and the healing that you're needing to sort of undertake in order to move through those energies as to where they're affecting you in your current lifetime. All right, so it's just feeling like there's some restraints that have been put on you in this lifetime that have actually come from the past lives. All right, so this is one of those concepts that can be difficult to explain, but it's kind of those instinctual things that you do that are holding you back from love, and it's kind of starting to try to pay attention to those things, even when there's no clear reason as to why you feel this about that, or you do this when certain behaviors or assumptions that have been made about love, and needing to maybe start to think about those. For some of you, things like past life regression and things like that. I'm picking up here strongly, Scorpio, that quite a lot of you are picking up past life memories through your dreams. So pay attention to your dreams at the moment, because our dreams are connected very, very much to our subconscious and our spirit. And so they do retain those lessons that we've held on to from past lives. So, really trying to pay attention to the deeper meaning of the themes, I suppose, of the dreams that you've been having lately. It's quite easy, if you, not everyone can quite easily, work out exactly, oh, that dream must mean this, especially when it comes to past life stuff. But Google is your friend, guys. Google is your friend. Just chuck in "this happened," a dream meaning, and you will sort of find a bunch of different answers. And then it's up to you to sort of sift through and see what feels right, as to themes, or get you thinking, basically, more than anything there. But we do also see unification coming through here for you, Scorpio. Okay, so that's aligning with abundance. So this is it's bringing to mind this specific message here, Scorpio. And this, I'm not going to lie, this is something that has come up with a Scorpio friend of mine recently, talking about things about, like, why do bad people get good things, and why do good people get nothing, or get bad things happen. And it's because the universe doesn't know the difference between good and bad the same way that we do. Morals are a human construct. So you're needing to come into unification with the energy of abundance. The universe works on energy. It doesn't work on morals or good versus evil. Like that honestly, it's a human constraint. It's a human pattern to see morals and good versus evil. Nature doesn't. You think about nature, and nature doesn't go, oh well, in quite a lot of cases, nature actually goes, oh well, look, that's the weakest of the herd, so that's the one I'll attack. And the same happens with morals. The universe can actually see that as not that necessarily it's the weakest in the herd, but it's the most vulnerable to attack, because it's not in alignment with the energy of, because a lot of rich people, they don't care. They just want money. They're so focused on the money that they don't care what they have to do to get it. Whereas good people, they do care what they have to do to get it. And in the energy of abundance, that can actually be, a vulnerability, that there's limits. All right. So I know that this sounds contradictory, but it's like needing to remove those limits within yourself, that self-limiting stuff, that says, oh, well, because you have doubt. Doubt is a vulnerability when it comes to the energy, self-doubt, that I want to align myself with abundance, but I doubt that it's possible for me because I'm a good person and I can't do, all those bad things that these people do to get the money, kind of thing. There's a level of self-doubt that comes into play. So it's just quite interesting, because that's the message that's coming through with this, and that it just keeps telling me here, Scorpio, that this is just something that you just need to, it just needs to be a topic in your mind right now, that to think about these things a little bit deeper. And some of you may actually explore these things much, much deeper. But for others of you, it's just, you just need that little, instigator in your thought processing to make you sort of understand how to achieve a little bit more abundance than what you have actually got yourself currently open to, that you're currently just a little bit limiting, little bit closed off to true abundance, because it's actually your morals holding you back, and it's actually your, the energy that you're in has self-doubt in that energy. All right, and doubt that I can do that because, I have these limitations, these moral, boundaries that I'm not going to cross. I'm not saying lose the morals. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying lose the energy of doubt within yourself, and the human condition to feel unworthy, that kind of is what is needing to be removed from your energy. You're kind of needing to tell yourself that you know what, I can have all of those things, and you know what, I can do it my way, which is, you know, without, you know, within the moral boundaries that I've set myself. But I can still do it. I can still do it, and I can do it better because I'm sticking within these boundaries. All right, you just need to have that confidence in yourself and not doubt yourself so much about that. But I'm sort of babbling on a little bit there. So, but we'll have a look here. Where is love moving forward to for our Scorpios? And you know, obviously, when I'm doing a love reading, we're talking about the fulfillment of love as your abundance. The you know, what makes you feel fulfilled in love and feel loved. You know, and moving forward into that I can have it all energy a little bit more here. But like I said, you know, it's part of the journey, because we do have the Voyager's Journey card here as well. So learning these little changes that we're, you know, instigating within ourselves, it's part of the journey. It's part of the adventure, right, of life. But where is Scorpio moving forwards to in love? Where is love moving for Scorpio? This is quite interesting because we do see the clouds coming through here as well as the moon, okay? And so these are kind of contradictory energies, because the moon does, the clouds do talk about your thought processes and think, like, very logical thinking and rational thinking, and the moon does talk about the opposite, the emotional ways of thinking and emotional sensitivities that are actually affecting your thought patterns. All right, so this is where that's you know, aligning with abundance conversation comes into play a little bit more here, because the way that you're allowing your overthinking and your thought processes to overtake you, because you're overthinking the emotions a little bit here. You're trying to think about emotions in a very logical, rational way, and it's actually causing you more anxiety, because, you know, emotions are not logical or rational. They come from heart space, soul space, you know. So it's kind of like trying to fit a square into a circle, that kind of a thing. So it's asking you to just sort of find a little bit more balance, unification, once again, between the way that we're thinking about things, the perspectives that we're seeing our emotions in, and understanding that, you know, once again, it's just part of natural processing. You know, to feel is to be human. You know, to have emotions is to be human. It's normal to have those emotions, that you are, you know, over rationalizing, that, like, overthinking those. I don't want to have those emotions. You know, you're trying to come through with a very non-emotional mindset, and it actually causes more confusion than what just accepting and you know, having that balance of feeling and thinking, head and heart, would have for you here. But we do see the crossroad as well. So there is a big choice coming up for you. You are moving forwards to, you know, a fork in the road when it comes to love, a big choice, a conscious decision, you know, a time when you are going to need to exert your free will as to choosing what is going to suit you best here. And it's going to need to be a choice that you're making with both your head and your heart, not just one or the other. So you're needing, you know, if you're, you know, being presented with the opportunity to you know, so I'm getting, for quite a lot of you, it's a divergence, right? So, you know, if you go this way, you have that person. If you go this way, you have that person. Or some of you, it may be between a person and being single. You know, all those sorts of things. You're needing to make these choices very consciously, instead of just allowing your emotions to take over. You are needing to sort of, yes, trust your emotions and trust your intuition, but also at the same time, trust your logic and your rational thinking as well. And, you know, if things aren't adding up in a logical way, and it's kind of like you have to choose one or the other, you know, it might not be the right decision for you if it leaves you choosing one or the other, head or heart. You need to find, you know, and if you can't find that in those two divergence, you make your own path, Scorpio, where you choose the path of balance, and you choose the path that takes into account both your head space and your heart space. Yeah. Okay. So, and that's what we're seeing for you. All right. So I know that was a little bit all over the place here, but not gonna lie, I'm getting the feeling that a lot of these messages are going to be a little bit. I keep getting the word ramshackle, but that doesn't really work properly. But that's the word that is coming through. A little bit all over the place. Okay. But I'm trusting that the messages will make sense when or to who they need to. All right, but that's what we're seeing for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll move over to Sagittarius. Okay, what does Sagittarius need to know in order to move forwards in love? What does Sagittarius need to know in order to move forwards in love? Okay, so we have the Twin Flame Facilitator card coming through. This is about expansive growth. All right, so I do actually feel that for a lot of you, this is the moment, you know, this facilitation energy is kind of like the moment where you are first presented with, you know, either the person or the moment that facilitates the growth. Okay, so it feels like for a lot of you, this is meeting somebody, to be honest, that you kind of need to know that this will be happening. You know, this facilitation will be happening, that all the circumstances are falling into place in order for this growth to start occurring for you with love. All right, that it's like and I'm also getting that the message of you needing to allow it, because facilitation is, you know, allowing it, all those things to come into play, to allow that to then move ahead. And then we see the breakthrough. Okay, so a lot of you are going to be having some sort of epiphany. You know, that there's just something that facilitates this movement. There's something that happens, whether it's meeting a person. You know, for some of you, it's just like an instigating thought or an instigating, you know, you overhear someone say something just in a certain way. You may have heard that message 20 times already, but someone says something in a certain way at a certain time, and it just facilitates this like snap in you, where all of a sudden you understand things on a different level, and all of a sudden it, you know, it's like a, you know, like a big epiphany, a breakthrough, bursting through to the next level when it comes to love. Processing karmic debris. Okay, so for a lot of you, it's an understanding of things that have happened in the past when it comes to love relationships, and it's you know, for some of you, that's what the facilitator is. That's a karmic is the facilitator, someone that you have probably already met, and or some of you haven't met this person yet. So some of you may be meeting a karmic, which is a little bit different to like a normal soulmate. Yeah, this is someone who is specifically coming into your life to give you lessons that you need for your own growth as a soul. So for some of you, this is going to be a bit rough. I'm not going to lie. All right, it is going to be, that karmic energy sometimes can be very rough. All right, and we sometimes, you know, it's somebody that you perceive them as a soulmate, but then it's like, turns out they were just a lesson. So unfortunately, I do see that for quite a lot of the Sagittarius collective here, that this may just be a karmic that you're encountering. For some of you, it's a karmic, you know, looking back in the past at a karmic situation you have already been in. And or you may run into an ex or something like down the street, and just something about that interaction just spurs this breakthrough. But it's the breakthrough, all right, that you need to know about. That the breakthrough is like you're so close to this. And what comes next? Where is love moving forwards to for our Sagittarius? Where does love move forwards to for Sagittarius, please? Oh my goodness, the weather has changed temperature today so many times. I'm going to have to grab that fan out in a minute. Yeah, for a lot of, so for a lot of you, this is, you know, that karmic debt stuff, because it's, firstly we have the tree coming through here. So that's where we see the growth taking place here. The growth taking place because for some of you, you're giving to the past. We see the tree, then we see the flowers here, followed by the mice. And so that's growth and healing from giving or receiving from the past, something that you have lost in the past. And for some of you, this might be a situation where you actually thought this person was a soulmate, and you're actually only now realizing, that's the breakthrough, is that you're realizing that this was a karmic rather than a full on, you know, rest of my life person. And so you're still just kind of ridding yourself of that debris, that energy that's left over from that situation. There is definitely this growth and healing for you one way or another. All right. But I do just worry for a few of you that you may be giving a little bit too much energy to the past with this here. Okay. So just be wary of that we're wanting to give to the past only for the lessons that we need to learn in order to move forwards, rather than allowing ourselves to get stuck on or in the past here. But this is a time of healing and growth for you, learning how to process love in a different kind of a way. All right, it is an epiphany, a breakthrough in the cycles that you've been through in the past with love, one way or another. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, or you know, cross-watch somebody else's placements as well. And we will move on over to our Capricorns. Okay. Capricorn, what does Capricorn need to know in order to move forwards in love? Harmonize. Oh, look at that. It's very, very similar. I don't know if you can tell that it's very similar to what I'm actually wearing. Let your light shine. Let your light shine. So it's like not holding back anymore, you know, coming into harmony and peace within oneself, Capricorn, that, you know, you're allowing yourself to just be, you know, just be. That in order to move forwards in love, just be yourself, accept your truth, good and bad, you know, and allow your light to shine, even when you're afraid, even when, you know, because it's through the darkness that the light shines the brightest. So no matter how dark things may look, the more that you allow that truth of yourself shine brightly, and, you know, the hope and the inspiration and the love within yourself, you know, and the peace. I keep getting this message of peace, like being at peace with yourself is part of your light just shining at the moment here, Capricorn. And that actually, you know, helps harmonize things as you move forward when it comes to love. We do have healing separation coming through here as well. Go within. So once again, go within, let that light shine, and allow it to heal separation that you've experienced in the past. Like, because we're also, you know, for a lot of you Capricorn, I feel like this is separation within self, feeling as though, you know, you've been overcome by the darkness and that you've been separated from the light within. And so this is really your opportunity in order to move forward in love, to heal that space within, that where darkness and light combine and create you know, and allow that through. Like I said, good and bad. Everyone's light does include the darkness, because otherwise the light can't be seen. All right, so that some of you may want to go back and check out the most recent shadow work reading as well. There definitely might be something connected to this in that reading for you. You know, especially the exercises. There definitely might be something there that you might want to look at, Capricorn, because that shadow work reading really was all about the light. So I feel like for a lot of you, if you have not seen that shadow work reading, or even if you have, it might be time to rewatch the Capricorn portion, or check out your other placements as well in that one. But having a look at where is love moving forwards to for you, Capricorn. Where does love move forwards to for our Capricorns? Where is love moving forwards to? It's worth looking within and shining that light, Capricorn. We have the ring. For a lot of you, this is moving directly towards connection, contracts, commitment, relationships. Stronger relationships for those who've already got a relationship. Next level of commitment for some of you there. We do see the letter. So we definitely see contracts coming up here, double. All right, because the letter is communication and expression. So, you know, for a lot of you, this can be actual paperwork as well. So it can be, you know, like a relationship contract, a commitment contract, which, especially with the rings there, for someone here, there's a Capricorn that might be getting engaged or married very, very soon. But it's, like I said, even if it's just a leveling up within a connection or leveling up to a connection, we're making some sort of contract commitment to each other. You know, that we're, even if that commitment is just, okay, well, we promise to text every day, or, you know, see each other X amount of days per week, or whatever, you know, maybe making some sort of contract between the two of you. In that, doesn't need to be a written contract, but a verbal contract, you know, or a contract of expectations is coming through here as well. So I do feel as though that a commitment to expectations and a contract to uphold those expectations. We also see the flowers. So for a lot of you, this is going to do with expressing what you need to receive within relationships, and expressing what you wish to give within relationships, and an expression of wanting the reciprocal energy, the equality, I don't want to just give and give and give. I need to receive as well, and this is how I receive, or this is how I give love, and this is, you know, the expectation of what I wish to receive in love, and we're making some sort of, you know, we're expressing that and we're committing to that. Okay, these are my boundaries and they can't be crossed, you know, where all those sorts of things. We're moving forwards in a very giving way, but we're also not standing back and allowing ourselves to not receive. We're not doing that anymore, Capricorn. All right, we're harmonizing and letting our light shine. We know we deserve to receive just as much as what we give. All right, so that's what I'm seeing for you, Capricorn, and very strong energy, because I do have your card on the bottom of the deck there as well, letting us know that, you know, it has been a bit of a journey, a bit of hard work for a lot of you. There has been a lot of obstacles and delays in this process for you, Capricorn, but you are coming into a bit more harmony with it all. All right, so that's what we're seeing for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to know in order to move forwards in love? What does Aquarius need to know in order to move forwards in love, please? Definitely going to pause after you guys, Aquarius, so that I can put my fan on. It's getting super hot in here. The weather has been all over the place today. Honor your agreement. Mission in motion. All right. So you need to know that in order to move forward and in order to have this, mission movement, in this mission in motion, that you need to honor your agreement. And do you know what? That's not an agreement that you've made with anyone other than yourself and the universe. All right? You need to honor your agreement to yourself that I deserve love. These are my boundaries. And, for a lot of you, I'm picking up that you've been allowing them to be pushed over. You're not honoring that agreement you've made with yourself to only accept love and what you deserve, Aquarius. So you need to actually honor the agreements that you've made with yourself. Yeah. And also with the universe. All right. That for some of you here, this is more to do with like a soul contract that you're refusing. As harsh as that might sound, I feel like for a lot of you, you are aware of that. You're ignoring that on purpose because it's too much, a lot to deal with. You're not honoring the agreement that you made to learn the lesson from that soul contract. Okay, Aquarius, I'm sorry if it's a little bit harsh. Healing separation. Go within. Go within, Aquarius. We're needing to go within and ask yourself what contracts have you made with yourself? The agreements have you made with yourself? What contracts have you made with the universe that you're not fulfilling? You need to sort of go within and heal that separation between the two sides of that because it's like you're honoring part of it but not the other. I kind of do feel like for those of you where that's relevant, you're already knowing what I'm sort of referring to here, because it's not very specific as such. It's and for some of you here, it's to do with your you have a soul contract with a person, yeah, but you're currently separated from that person, and it's kind of like you're ignoring them on purpose, or that's not over, and you're kind of pushing it aside and not dealing with that, and you're not even if it's not like even if it's been fulfilled on a reality level, there's something about that connection that you're not dealing with, and you're not processing that separation that has taken place, and that's what you're needing to heal in order to fulfill this contract. But it can't be fulfilled without the last dot point completed. It's like you've got to, I agree to this, I agree to this, I agree, a list of things that you agree to, and then you've done every single one except for the last one. So, which I think for some of you it's letting go and accepting that it's okay for that to be over, and for others of you it's different. It's like an end to the separation, but there's unfinished business for some of you, but you don't need the other person in order to finish that. Okay, but once again, it keeps telling me that you know what I'm talking about. I might not know what I'm talking about. You do. I just pass the message on, guys. Okay, where is the love moving forwards to for Aquarius? Where is love moving forward to for Aquarius, please? Where does this take Aquarius? For a lot of you, it's honoring your agreements with yourself. Okay, because we do, like I said already, like we have the bear here, we have the fox there, and then we have the ring. Okay, so there's that contract, that agreement, that connection all over again with the ring. Okay, and so we see with the bear, this is the boundaries that you have, like the parameters that you have set. All right, you're just protecting yourself. Yeah, you just had you've done what you've needed to do in order to survive with the fox sitting here. But you do need to focus on yourself a little bit more and create some boundaries with your own self as well. And, you know, nurture and protect this contract that has been made in order to complete it. You need to be a little bit more, you know, for some of you, it's a little bit more confident in yourself. Is coming through here. You know, you already know you're strong enough to do this. You're strong enough. You're clever enough. You're smart enough. You're, you know, bold enough, confident enough. It's kind of like it just wants you to know that the next step in order to protect yourself and to keep surviving here is to complete the contract. To go within and create some solid boundaries with yourself and, you know, honor that agreement that you've made with yourself in order to heal the parts of yourself that are, you know, because look at this bear and fox are facing opposite ways. So there's like a separation there already. Even though they hold very similar kind of energy, they both take control of situations. But right now you're just too much in control of yourself and of your heart space. So it just feels as though, you know, you're protecting yourself too tightly. It wants you to know that, you know, yes, you've been doing what you've needed to do to survive, but you also, you know, it's not just about standing up to everyone else. It's not just about standing up to relationships and being strong and confident towards others. It's about doing that to yourself as well. All right. And having the balls to stand up to yourself when you need to, and having it within you to look, I need to deal with some ish. I need to go within myself and bring the parts of me that are unbalanced into balance. Okay, Aquarius, I need to, you know, break the cycle that this has created within myself. Yeah. So that's what we're seeing for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Pisces. Okay, Pisces. Pisces, what does Pisces need to know in order to move forwards in love? What does Pisces need to know in order to move forwards in love? Okay. Path of least resistance, Pisces. Choosing ease and grace. All right, so not fighting it all the time. This has been a big theme this week. People fighting love. All right, that it's like allowing it to just occur, allowing yourself to accept it, that it's actually easier to be in the energy of love than to constantly fight against it, Pisces. We do also see compassion coming through for you. Higher heart opening. All right, so this is having compassion for yourself, having compassion for others around you. All right, that we're opening our heart up a little bit more this week, Pisces, or this month even. You know, choosing the path of ease by being compassionate and trying to understand. Easier than it sounds. There you go. I nearly corrected myself, but it is easier than it sounds. Easier than it sounds. Like once you start to consider the idea of wanting to be more compassionate is actually easier than it does sound. All right, and to yourself as well. To allow yourself space to just be and have a little bit of compassion for yourself. You've been through a lot. All right? But so have they. So has everyone. All right? It's been a life, guys. Pisces, where is love moving forwards to for our Pisces? Where is love moving forwards to for Pisces, please? firstly, we see the house coming through here, followed by the feminine, all right? So for quite a lot of you, this is, the house does talk about safety, security, a sense of family, sense of feeling like home, comfort zones, and those sorts of things. So, comfort and ease, exactly what we're seeing here with the house, especially with your nurturing self and your emotional self, all right? So the more feminine, softer sides of yourself, to allow them a safe place to just be a part of you. That they exist, allow them to be. It's actually easier to, once again, stop fighting that side of yourself that is a little bit softer and feels Pisces. It is something that it's allow it to become your comfort zone, allow it to become part of who you are on an everyday kind of level. Home is somewhere we know we can return to that space once we find it within ourselves. All right, we do also see the garden coming through here. So for those of you who are in, connections already, I dare say Valentine's Day will see you on a date of some description. For a lot of you, this is meeting up with friends and spending time with family as well. That helps you find that compassionate side of yourself a little bit more, and seeing the compassion that others have for you. So this does talk about meeting up with people, being a little bit more sociable, being a little bit more, out and about and public scene, I suppose, Pisces. Being a little bit more public about the softer sides of yourself as well. All right, and for those of you who are completely single, straight away the card is telling me you're meeting someone. You're meeting someone very soon, within the next 20 days, I would say, to be honest. That's card 20, and it is, we're on the path. If we stay on the path of least resistance and we just go with the flow, go with, the ease and patience and, grace and compassion, you will meet somebody very, very soon. Okay, Pisces. So I know that sounds very definitive, but it feels very definitive for you there, Pisces. You are moving towards meeting someone, for those of you who are single, all right? So that's what we're seeing for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Definitely subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Aries. Okay, Aries. What does Aries need to know in order to move forwards in love? Moving forwards, Aries, when it comes to love, what do you need to know in order to move forwards? No more going backwards, Aries. Okay, very interesting. Kind of, to be honest, I have been dealing with a lot of Aries energy this week, and this is not actually what I was expecting to see. Take that as you will. We have the false twin flame card coming through here, Aries, which talks about intense changes needing to occur in order for you to move forward in love. All right. I feel like for a lot of you, this is a falseness that you have kind of, the word that's coming through is appropriated, but it's kind of like your perception of something or someone has been false, and you're starting to see that needs to change within yourself, that you're needing to undertake this period of intense change. This is going to play out differently for a lot of you, because it's giving so many different messages here with the way that this might play out for you. For some of you, this is intense change within yourself. For others of you, this is actual, a lot of intense change occurring in your life. And it's got to do with letting go of a false ideal. It's not necessarily like so much of a person, but maybe an ideal that you placed on a person, or a false ideal, like maybe you, because I'm getting a message here for someone that you accused someone of being or doing something that was wrong, that they didn't actually do or be that. But for others of you, it's different. It's more to do with you and your own perception of what love could and should be. I am still getting a couple of you have connected this to somebody in the past, and it feels like I keep getting a blonde person for some reason. But it does feel like someone from at least, like, it feels like quite a long time ago, like maybe even 10 years ago, that you have attached some ideal of what love should be or what love is not to be. And that's what's sort of needing to change here. And you're going through this period where it's intense. It's not run of the mill. Like, it's weird because it comes out with this card. Okay, and this is the path of least resistance. Choosing ease and grace. Because, you know, intensity is not always easy. So it's kind of like contradictory energy here. But it's kind of like the path of least resistance is opening up to the change and doing so with ease and grace. For some of you who are dealing with somebody, it's about choosing to not fight against them so much, and not fight against love. And it's easier to love. And it for some of you, this is somebody that, you know, maybe it was very muchly like it was just easy with this person. But I'm kind of getting this energy, Aries, that you made it hard. So there's just something in that choose what's easy and is graceful and holds themselves gracefully in your life. For some of you, it may even be someone with the name Grace, honestly. But it's kind of just telling you to stop fighting against love. That's the intense change. That's the false ideal, is that you have to fight against love, that you're not allowed to let love in, and love hurts and all these sorts of things. Okay, but having a look at where it moves you forwards to, Aries. Aries, where is love moving you forwards to? Where is love moving Aries forwards to? Where does it take us, Aries? Getting strong references here to the past, Aries. So this might not be for all our Aries, okay? Although it still could be, in a way. Like, because I am picking up that some of you are dealing with somebody from your past, and others of you are dealing with somebody from your past in the sense of letting go of that, whereas others of you are trying to take a chance on that or invest in that, back in that. Okay, so we have the mice here with the clover. So the mice does talk about the past. It talks about things that you feel are lost to you or have been lost or taken from you in the past here. But then we see the clover, which is about, you know, luck is on your side, and that it's time to jump in the deep end, and it's time to invest, and it's time to take a risk on love. Okay, so for some of you, this is with someone that you thought was lost to you. For others of you, it's kind of a moving away from. Okay, so, and like I said, this past energy that I'm getting here, this false energy, it's from at least at least 8 to 10 years ago. Maybe a little bit less, maybe 6 or 7, but it's quite an old energy here from your past, Aries. For some of you, this may even be like the ideals that were created within you within childhood, that's sort of long ago. And that's what's been lost to you. Like, that was the falseness that was there, was the concept of love that you learnt as a child. And it's maybe time to, invest in new ways of thinking and to this intense change coming through here, Aries. It's going to take a lot of risk. It's going to take you, maybe jumping in the deep end and investing in something that seems really scary. You don't know where that's going to take you. You don't know what that's going to look like once you jump on in. So it's scary. It's a big risk, yeah, but luck is on your side with this, that's for sure. We do also see the garden coming through here, Aries, as well. So for some of you, it's like taking a chance on a meeting, taking a chance on meeting up with somebody, those sorts of things. Meeting this falseness from your past, this false ideal, this falseness from your past with change. Simple as that. That's the meeting that's happening, is meeting the falseness with change. With I'm taking the path of least resistance here, and I'm following my heart, and I'm doing what is easy for because it's not being very. Oh, okay. That message was just like slip. Some of you, there's a date ahead here for you, like, it's maybe, taking a chance to reach out to somebody and ask from the past and ask them out on a date, It could also talk about just being very, more public, taking a chance to be more public about this change that you're going through, about what's happened for you, and about, this understanding that you need to change, and maybe asking for help with that, meeting up with friends and asking for help with that. Meeting someone in the middle, compromise, attending things, going out and getting out and about in public a little bit more here, Aries. Attending events and accepting invitations, and even just, going for a walk down the park or things like that. I'm just feeling the need here to just. What else does Aries need to know in order to move forwards in love? What else does Aries need to know in order to move forwards in love here? Just feeling like there's just so many energies going on here, Aries. We see the Scythe and then the Rider. Sudden intense change. Breaking free from where we've been and deciding to move forwards. Choosing to move forwards. Choosing to move towards love. And it's probably the one you're thinking of. We have the clouds here. Who are you thinking of, Aries? It's probably that person. Path of least resistance. That is to move forwards. It's harder to move backwards and not allow this change to occur within you. Yeah. For a lot of you, I would suggest watching your other placements. Okay, so your moon, maybe your Venus, your rising. For those of you who don't know your placements, check astrocafe.com. Cafeastrology.com. free charts and all that. It's very in-depth as well. It's a very good site to use. Or you can reach out via email and I can send the links and all that sort of stuff. Okay, Aries? Make sure you subscribe. That's what we have there for you. All right, and we will move on over to our Taurus. Okay. Taurus, what does Taurus need to know in order to move forwards in love? What does Taurus need to know in order to move forwards in love? Clearing energy blocks. Activating the higher chakras. Okay, so some homework, Taurus. Chakra work, all right? Maybe, doing meditations, just doing cleansing. Swimming in salt water is a really good little start for you here. Taurus, I've been picking up strongly for the Taurus lately. Nature, get out in nature a little bit more, Taurus. You need the greenery, all right? Activating your higher chakras. For some of you, this is as simple as just learning a little bit more about chakras. For some of you, this is as simple as, starting to pay attention to signs, synchronicities, your dreams, those sorts of things. Start activating that, the higher chakras, your connection to source, your third eye chakras. They're obviously going to be the higher chakras. So your connection to the universe, your connection to God, whatever that kind of means for you personally, as well as, your ability to see beyond reality a little bit more here. So I kind of just feel as though it's as simple as that. Whatever that means to you personally, your interpretation of what I've just said. That's what that means for you, Taurus. Okay. We do also see mission accomplished. Welcome home. Allowing yourself to move forward in love involves you feeling safe and secure within yourself. And once again, activating this, clearing your energy blocks between yourself and the universe is very important here, because this is your coming home. You're coming home to the, to nature, to the universe. All right, because I am picking up here that Taurus, for quite a lot of you, there's a few of you here that, I'm saying God, the universe, God or the universe or whatever. I also need to be saying Mother Earth to a couple of you here as well, Gaia, whatever. Welcome home. There's a nurturing, loving energy for you. Shall you only open yourself up to receive it from the universe? All right, and that will help you move forward in love to connect to that energy a little bit more. Okay, Taurus. Where is love moving forwards to for Taurus? Where does this take our Taurus, please? Over the hills and far away. This is, when it says clear your energy blocks, this is the blockage. We have the mountain and the mice. There's a blockage from your past that we're moved, because we're seeing the word accomplished on that mission accomplished card, which means that, you have come further up this mountain than what this normally might mean, that you have actually put in the work to overcome the past, to the blockage of loss that you have experienced in love in the past. You've actually come a lot further than you give yourself credit for, that, you have faced those challenges of loss in your energy here. And, there's a part of you that still stresses out about those things, but it actually doesn't. It's kind of like you're allowing yourself to stress about those things, even though they don't actually stress you out anymore. It's like they don't stress you out anymore and you just haven't realized it yet. Mission accomplished. You have dealt with the past. You have put in the work. You have persevered from the hand that you've been dealt here from the past, Taurus. And it's time to actually, have that conversation. We have the birds here, and it's kind of It's moving you towards new conversations and new ways of talking about how far you have come already, and moving you towards, maybe for some of you there's this message about professional advice there as well, but it's moving you towards this excited nervousness towards what comes next. All right. So I'm not seeing anything actually jumping on in straight away here, Taurus. I'm seeing, you realizing how far you've come, and this excited nervousness to see what does come next. That I know there's more here, and I'm starting to have these conversations with myself where I'm realizing that, do you know what? Now that I've cleared those chakra blocks, I'm realizing I'm not still blocked by the past. I'm now excited to move forward. It's kind of like this was the last little step of needing to clear out that last little bit of energy to actually realize that you have moved over that mountain already, and that the past is the past, and that it's time to start looking forwards to the future. All right, so pretty short and simple there for you, Taurus, but always welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Definitely subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Geminis. Okay. Gemini, what does Gemini need to know in order to move forwards in love? What does Gemini need to know in order to move forwards in love, please? The High Priestess, Gemini. Expanding consciousness of yourself, I am enough. Let go of your expectations, because you already are the High Priestess here, Gemini. It's like you already are this High Priestess, that you already are enough. It's just time to open yourself up to be aware of that. And that's where what you need to do in order to move forwards in love, is to realize how amazing you are already. All right, and realize that you are already this High Priestess energy, that you already are more than capable of inviting love into your life, or inviting more love into your life to move forwards in love. If you've been feeling stuck, it's because you're telling yourself you're not worthy. You're trying to tell yourself you're not this High Priestess. I'm not the High Priestess, which is the ultimate loving kind of feminine energy toward, when it comes to love and things like that. You already are enough, exactly how you are already. Okay, it's time to own it. All right, but where is love moving forwards to for our Geminis? Where is love moving forwards to for our Geminis? This is conversations with yourself. For some of you, this may actually even be, professional advice as well, or something like that. Talking about your own strength and your, displaying your confidence a little bit. Allowing yourself to be free, because you are strong and confident, and that you can protect yourself in a very strong kind of a way here. You're very nurturing and loving and over it all. You know how to stand up for yourself, but you also are confident enough that you don't need to a lot of the time, that you've already created strong and healthy boundaries around yourself, and you're confident that they will be held. And for some of you, just needing to talk with yourself about the bear that you really are on the inside here, Gemini. This is like a mama bear that they'll defend their cubs when they need to, but overall they're sweet little teddy bears. And they're nurturing, they're taking care of their babies and whatnot. You know, but they'll get those claws out when they need to, if they need to. They know where the boundaries are. They know where, you know, they know no one's game enough to cross their boundaries. You need to talk to yourself a little bit more. Expand that consciousness and just talk to yourself a little bit more. All right. Allow that background chatter in your mind to come to the front a little bit more. You know, that makes you, the background voice that makes you question that negative voice. You know, every time you've got that little negative voice in your head saying you're not worthy, Gemini, you're not worthy. There's this background chatter going, oh, but maybe I am. But maybe I am. Bring that forwards a little bit more, all right? We do see the tree coming through here as well. So you are moving forward to a period of expansion, just in general, but also, you know, specifically in love and healing love within yourself, you know, especially self-love. It's coming through very strongly that for a lot of you, this has got to do mostly with your self-love and moving forwards with more love for oneself, healing and taking care of yourself in a better way. All right. So that's what we're seeing for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements. Pretty short and sweet for you today, Gemini, and just saw 11111 on the clock there. Thought it was worth mentioning, Gemini. A bit of confirmation there. But that's what we see for you. Check those other placements, subscribe to the channel, and we'll move on over to our Cancer. Okay, Cancer. What does Cancer need to know in order to move forwards in love? What does Cancer need to know in order to move forwards in love? Cancer, hate to break it, I'm going to call you out. Acknowledge. Taking responsibility. Okay, it's giving me a very specific message here too, because we do also see clearing karma, Kundalini activation card. All right, so clearing the karma by taking personal responsibility. All right, that we have, you know, there's something to be said here for, you know, you maybe have already taken responsibility for your actions and your words, but have you actually, you know, and you, yes, you own it, that's what I said, that's what I did, and you're taking, you know, responsibility for certain things, but are you taking responsibility for the way that those things affected somebody? Because I'm kind of getting this message here about, it's actually, I'm not going to lie, Cancer, it's reminding me of a certain time when a Cancer moon and I were having a bit of a, and they took responsibility for their actions, but then they turned around and said to me, but your feelings are your responsibility. That's not my fault that made you feel that way. And I'm kind of like, well, I wouldn't have felt that way if it wasn't for your actions. You know, so there is an element here that, yes, people are responsible for their own personal feelings. True. But that doesn't take away the fact that there was responsibility that, you know, being treated a certain way or whatnot has allowed somebody to feel that way. Does that make sense? That it's the impact, all right, of the behaviors. It's taking responsibility not only for the behavior, but for the impact that the behaviors had, the consequences of those on others. All right, so it's the karma, because it's one thing to say, yes, I did this, I take full responsibility for doing this, but taking actual full responsibility is a different thing altogether. You can't then, if you're taking responsibility, you can't then place the blame on others. That's, once again, that's their responsibility to take the blame for their role. But you need to take full responsibility for your role, which may actually be a bigger role than you took responsibility for. All right, like I said, it's the impact, consequences of of those behaviors and actions and whatnot. All right, so sorry to call you out here a little bit, but if we want to clear our karma, we need to acknowledge this, and we need to be honest with ourselves about that. All right, take actual full responsibility. It just keeps making me emphasize full responsibility, not just part responsibility, not still turning around and blaming, you know. Cancer. Where is love moving forwards to for Cancer? Where is love moving forwards to for Cancer, please? It's definitely moving forwards. We do have the ship on the bottom of the deck there, Cancer. This is the acknowledgement, okay? We see the scythe coming through here. So this is breaking that karma, clearing that karma, breaking free from the excuses, breaking free from not taking responsibility. And that enables the changes to occur, all right? It may be very sudden, very unexpected changes that start happening here. That as soon as you start acknowledging your role, you're initiating these changes because you're breaking free from the lower vibrational energies that are holding you back with love. All right, and so you start moving towards change, very sudden, very quick change. All right, it's like happening very, very quickly, maybe even like within hours. For some of you, these changes are occurring. We do see you moving towards here the ring and the child. A relationship, new beginning, a relationship full of play and adventure and fun. It's bright and happy, cheerful. New cycles being created here, new beginnings. So you're breaking free of the old cycles that have caused you to have this karmic debt, and you're moving forwards to new contracts that are more about freedom and fun and playfulness and adventure. New beginning. It's a brand new beginning you're moving towards with relationships here. Okay, so even if you're already connected to somebody, there's new aspects, new elements of playfulness and fun, enjoyment within those relationships. Okay, Cancer. So that's what we're seeing for you. You are more than welcome to check your other placements as well. Definitely subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Leos. Okay, Leo. What does Leo need to know in order to move forwards in love? What does Leo need to know in order to move forwards in love, please? Oh, obviously that one, Leo. Flipping on out. Speak your truth. Express yourself. It's that song, Express Yourself. Speak your truth, Leo. Now is not a time for hiding in the shadows. Even if your truth is somewhat harsh, even if your truth invites conflict, it's not the time to avoid truth. Truth sometimes hurts, but it's time to own the truth, be the truth, express the truth, especially the truth of yourself. Because, we do see the surrender card here as well, which does talk about the dark night of the soul. So, it's kind of a little bit of a mixed bag here for you, Leo, where it's, you need to speak your truth, but you're also kind of going through it a little bit by doing so. It's not necessarily conflict as such. It's more all just within that. It's like, it feels like releasing I'm like getting released the Kraken I'm getting for some reason, but you're releasing a part of the darkness within. And, that's why I feel like straight away, as soon as I said, speak your truth, oh, truth hurts, that sometimes we have to be blunt and dark and, to speaking the truth of the dark night of our soul, that we're not happy, sunshine, rainbows all the time. And it's okay to express that. It's okay to share that with those that, care about you. If you're going through it, express it. You've got to get it out of you, right? One way or another. But that helps you move forward in love because it's truth. All right? You're no longer hiding in those shadows. Don't hide those shadows from yourself either. All right? Where is love moving forwards to for Leo? Where does love move Leo forwards to, please? I'm not going to lie, Leo. It is going to be a bit of a fight within yourself because we see the moon coming through first. So the emotions are on high alert because it's like, I know I'm speaking my truth here and I know the truth hurts. I know that this is coming from maybe a darker place, but I need to speak my truth. But emotions are running very, very high. All right. Trust your intuition though, because we do also see here, love is moving you towards this star and the anchor. So wishes becoming stabilized in your life, being able to depend on your dreams coming true. Awesome, right? Once again, though, both the moon and the stars cannot shine brightly in the sky without the darkness. So sometimes in order to get closer to our goals and our dreams and our wishes, we do need to speak that truth coming from that darker place in order to find the light in amongst it all and know that we can rely on those wishes coming true. We've got, the goals that you're setting yourself in love. Yes, you may have some emotions a bit high, but your intuition already knows that you're on the way to stabilizing those and steady as she goes with those kind of things, whatever it is that you're wishing for in love, whether that's in a connection already, you're wanting, a certain thing within that connection to happen, or whether you're wanting to stabilize your single life and find somebody or whatever that is for you, those goals, whatever they are for you in love, you kind of have this deep knowing that it is stabilizing for you, that you can depend on those wishes coming in for you. All right, look, just like when we go out to look at the night sky, we know we're going to see stars, unless there's clouds. But if we go out on a clear night, we know we're going to see stars. It's reliable, it's dependable. We know that they're going to be there. All right. So that's what we're seeing for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course, Leo. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Virgos. Okay, Virgo. Last but not least today, Virgo. I did switch it up a little bit today, so you are the last sign we're reading for today. What does Virgo need to know in order to move forwards in love? What does Virgo need to know in order to move forwards in love, please? Interesting. I swear another sign had... I've seen both of these cards come out, but they may have been for two different signs, but I thought maybe they were for the one sign. But we do have honor your agreement. The mission is in motion. All right. So I think that might have been Aquarius that had that one. And it's very interesting because both of these cards use the word mission. Because we have mission accomplished. Welcome home. So that was Taurus that had that one. But it's like honoring your agreement, welcome home. The mission is in motion, the mission is accomplished. It's like as soon as you start moving, mission accomplished. You're home. The welcome home energy there, the mission accomplished, it does talk strongly about connection with Source, with God, with the universe, Mother Earth. All right, which I am picking up the Mother Earth energy once again because, you know, Taurus being an Earth sign, you being an Earth sign here. But there's something here about this mission that you've had. The mission. Some mission. It's like a goal. Like a... like you've got a certain thing in mind here, Virgo. But it's like, but with the honor your agreement, it's like honoring your agreement to, once again, the source, the universe, to yourself, that I want to move forwards. I kind of feel for a lot of you, this is just like honoring your agreement to move forwards in love, and going, and just the acknowledgement of, I want to move forwards in love. Bang, mission accomplished. Welcome home. You're moving forwards now. Does that make sense? It feels, it's kind of giving me that keep it simple, stupid message, you know, that you honor your agreement to not give up and to keep moving, to not go backwards, to not go around in circles, to keep moving forwards, to keep learning, to keep trying. Yeah. So it does feel pretty straightforward, like, because like I said, it keeps telling me the whole keep it simple thing. I think the universe just wants to call me stupid right now, but whatever. Because it's calling me stupid. It's saying keep it simple, stupid. Talking to me, not you. Okay. Virgo. Where is love moving forwards to for our Virgos? Where is love moving forwards to for our Virgos, please? Firstly, we have the fox and the whip. It's giving me a very specific message, all right, because the fox is very independent. Sometimes it can be classed as selfish. Sometimes it can be player energy as well. Being sneaky, being crafty, all right? It's talking about these things. So it's different for each of you that I'm speaking to, okay? So for one of you, it's like you're being, you know, the ways in which you have been sneaky when it comes to love. For some of you, it's talking about the ways in which you've been a bit of a player. And for others of you, it's just talking about just, you know, being a little bit egocentric, a little bit selfish. When it comes to love. And then, you know, and then the whip does talk about tension, drama, trouble, punishment. So, you know, with such a self energy with the fox, for some of you, this is self-punishment, the way that you've been punishing yourself for being a player, or for being selfish in love, for being sneaky. Withholding information is coming through there as well. But this is what, you know, this is what the agreement is, honoring your agreement. We have the book here as well. This is, it's like the selfish fighting myself, the selfish self-punishment is what we're learning more about, you know, what we're choosing to move forwards by learning the lesson, educating ourselves on the ways in which we have done this, the ways that we can stop doing this. All right. For some of you, not controlling love as much, because it's just causing all this fox energy has caused you conflict, and you just keep punishing yourself for it over and over again. But here we see you, moving toward learning why I've done that, or what ways I've done that to myself, and learning new ways to be moving forwards, and learning the lessons, honoring the agreement, and moving forward with the mission kind of thing, that we're so that then we can feel, accomplished and connected once again to the universe, in a more pure kind of a way. You see that mission accomplished. It's the white swan. So there's a lot of, with the crown as well, so that there's a lot of purity there as well. All right, we're moving forward and learning how to approach love in a much more honest, pure way that doesn't hurt us as much as it hurts others. It doesn't hurt others as much as it hurts us. To stop fighting yourself over your behaviors, and to actually learn how to change them when you want to, change them when you need to, and learning more about, the behaviors we've experienced in love. It's a period of learning, all right, and in order for you to start moving towards the next chapter of love for yourself here. So we are moving towards the phase of learning more and educating ourselves about the way that we have, kind of, hurt ourselves in love, because of, the way that we were a little bit selfish, or we were a little bit sneaky, or we were a bit of a player, and we're starting to learn how that has hurt us, and how that has held us back and punished ourselves, how we've punished ourselves and caused more conflict in love for ourselves. And then once we've learnt that, then, bang, mission accomplished. We're on our way again into the next chapter. Okay, Virgo, so that's what we're seeing for you. More than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Definitely subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all again soon.